You know what? More than you might think, because my 5 years now, or 4.5, or whatever it is here, we've used him a lot. But all the years prior to that, he was a pretty good teaching tool as well. So when you're trying to show some young players important moments or key situations, how to play them, we used number 11 in the past for other teams as well.
Todd, everyone has always said that he doesn't cheat the game. He never has. Is that just a mindset that a player has always had? Or does it develop, or what is it about that he's?
I wish I could answer that. I'm going to try, but I don't have the answer. I think that I think he really understands the whole picture from beginning to end and everything in between. He knows moments, he understands. Doesn't mean he doesn't make mistakes, but he plays the right way, minute in and minute out, and understands the whole big picture. I'm thinking really quick off the top of my head. He grew up in maybe a non-traditional hockey market. Were stats really that big in Slovenia when you were his age as a young kid? I don't know, but I know in Canada, probably the US, a lot of other countries, there's probably parents at home that have a chart that keep track of goals and assists and all that type of stuff. And sometimes that lends to cheating the game a little bit. You want to see a tick on the whiteboard in your kitchen, if you will. And I'm not sure if they had that in Slovenia or not, but that could be one reason why he might be a little bit different. But I do believe that the winners, players that have won, have that. I saw some players in Detroit have that. I think when you can give up a little bit and understand how to play the whole game, you have a better chance at winning.
Maybe growing up too with a father as a coach.
Very well could be, yeah. He probably was taught at an early age, and that could very, very much be part of it too.
There's obviously all the obvious stuff. The guys in the room, the younger players, all talk about the impact he's had on them off the ice. So what does that say about the way that he leads that's been so impactful on guys coming through this organization?
When you talk about the off-ice part, there's a lot of variables that go into that. That is just watching him be a dad with his kids, and that type of stuff's valuable. Preparing for a day's work, what he does in the gym, what he does with his equipment, his rhythm and routine, that's real important. And then you can talk about hey, come and sit with me, or let's go for dinner. The tap on the pads, good job. Coach may be mad at a young player. Hey, don't worry about it. I've been there before. Moments. So there's a lot that goes into the off-ice part that you can't even bottle up in one comment. It's really big.
John, you look at the 2 road games, 2 home games, different results. Were the games that played that much differently?
I would say that as time has gone on, we've got sharper as a team in a lot of different areas. We still have to improve. The power play, our LA Kings power play didn't get a chance the other day in Minnesota. Prior to that, we had given up multiple chances against on the power play. If you want to put all the games together. So we've got to clean that part up, but we didn't have any type of risk against on the power play. Tonight, I'm assuming we'll get 1 or 2. We've got to do a better job in that area. So things change there without even having to change them. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but and I think pairs and combinations are getting a little more used to playing with each other at a high pace or high intensity. And I'm not sure that those last 3 exhibition games were really at that level. So it's been good for us to play game after game and try and improve.
Those 2 starts for Cam on the trip, how do you like how he's not only giving you saves, but giving you those those timely saves, whether to keep you in early or
Yeah,
protect the
that's,
lead and, not allow a team to get momentum.
yeah, and sometimes numbers for goaltenders are a little misleading, goals against or save percentage, whatever. It is when they occur or don't occur sometimes. So Talb's obviously in Winnipeg. That full 15, 20 minutes of start was real important. Some of it in Minnesota, but we all play as a team. We expect that from him. He expects it from himself, and it makes a huge difference when you get it.
Before the Carolina game, you mentioned that you didn't need to do a lot of pre-scouting, that there was a book on that team, they played the same way. Is it a similar situation with Boston, and if so, what is the book on Boston?
Well, Boston doesn't give you anything for free. It doesn't matter who's in their lineup. They have it. I talk about our DNA sometimes here in LA. They have that in their DNA. Their game is rubbed off on all the young players, so they play that way. So there's nothing for free against Boston. They don't give up much, and that's what we're going to face tonight. It's not an overly complicated game plan or pre-scout. But the work that goes into trying to beat it is complicated and hard work. So, we think we know what we're going to see from them, or at least what we expect, and we better be ready for it.
I have a question about Anze, if I could. As a coach, during the game or in the room at intermission, you might have to get on a player, you might be upset with a player. Have you ever, in your time here at LA, been mad or upset with Kopi?
Oh, I'm sure there's been times, yeah, where something's gone awry or he missed a detail, and but it doesn't happen very often. And the good thing about dealing with him is it's one and done. Hey, you know what, Kopi, we got to fix this. I got it, and you can walk away and you have a pretty good idea it's done. We're playing Boston. Jim Montgomery. Have a relationship with him. He talked about Bergeron with their team last year to me. How if something needed to get done, it was taken care of. Well, Kopi does that for our team. And those are two winners. They both understand the whole game and make adjustments and take care of the flock, if you will.
What's unique about the way that he captains compared to maybe some of the other captains that he coached?
Good question. There's a lot of different personalities. There's the raw guy, which, he's banging sticks and almost becomes a cheerleader or an energy guy. That's not Kopi. Kopi's more calculated. He speaks when he needs to speak. When he does speak, people listen. And that's probably the best sign of a leader. He leads by example in practice. There's not a lot of times where you blow the whistle and say, Kopi, what the hell are you doing? You don't know the drill. He's got it. He's a real good guy to have go first. So just the overall details of his game, he leads that way. But he's not in there banging the drum in the locker room. He's banging it on the ice.